right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Is Bitcoin crashing? I'm going to look at least 5 indicators that show the next move for Bitcoin looks like it's to the downside. So is this a correction? Is this just a pullback? Is this a crash? Or is this all just a big fake out? So I want to go through all of these indicators, take a look at what's going on, and then I'm going to let you know what I think is going to happen and what I'm going to do about it. Okay, let's start by saying yesterday Bitcoin did take a big move to the downside. So after the US equity markets closed, right after, for the next hour or two, Bitcoin took a very quick and steep dive down about 3.5%, and it has stayed down since then. So if we look at this Bitcoin chart on the 15-minute time frame, you'll see what I'm talking about. As always, there's an orange line where Bitcoin was when the US equity markets closed yesterday. So you can see we were fairly sideways yesterday. This was holding on somewhere in the $25,800 to $25,900 range, just under $26,000. But all of a sudden, right after the US equity markets closed, it did get as low as $24,821. We've already taken a move down, and I'm going to show you a bunch of indicators that to me look like the next move is down. The question is how far and how fast, and do we rebound from there? If you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel. You can also smash the like button and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. Okay, so let me go through the first indicator. We're at the 15-minute time frame, and you're going to see this purple line. This purple line has been a line of support for a significant period of time. I'm going to zoom out and show you what I'm talking about. But you can see yesterday, this big downward move pushed us below this line of support. So I've been saying for quite some time on this channel that I thought this line of support would hold. It's been tested. It has held in the past. At the moment, it looks like we're in danger of losing this line. So that would be one big indicator. This is one of the main spots that I've been talking about as a real strong line of support that I thought we would be able to hold above even if Bitcoin did move down. So this is on the 15-minute time chart. So you can see we haven't been below this for that long yet. Okay, if I switch over to the 1-day time chart, you're going to see this was yesterday's daily candle. So this did actually close below this line. So that was not a good sign. So that's my first indicator that it looks like the next move for Bitcoin is down. So far today, you'll see we have not even gotten back above this line. We bumped into it. So all of a sudden, this line of support, which dates back to March 17th, it looks like it may be turning back into resistance. Now, I will say it is too soon to call that. So I think today is a crucial day. One of the biggest things I'm going to be looking at is, can we close above this line today? If today's daily candle closes above this line, that could nullify a lot of what I'm about to talk about. But for the time being, you'll see we haven't even been able to get back to this line. 100% of today's daily candle as of the time I'm making this has been below this line of support. Okay, I've added a yellow line here. This is the 200-week moving average. So this has been something we've talked about extensively on this channel. Bitcoin did get below the 200-week moving average, and that caused what an extended bear market, a crypto winter, if you will. That was the first time really Bitcoin stayed below the 200-week moving average, really in Bitcoin's history. We broke below this a few days ago, and then yesterday was the first day where we really started just moving away from this significantly. So that's a second indicator. We now seem to be moving below the 200-week moving average. I think we need to quickly move back above this. If we did so, in the next 2 to 3 days, if we were to move back above this 200-week moving average, then once again, that I think would nullify the downward price action in Bitcoin. Otherwise, this is a second pretty strong indicator that right now the momentum is absolutely down. Okay, the next thing I want to look at, this is still on the 1-day time frame. I want to take a look at the daily RSI. So you can see we've had a nice bull run in 2023. It did peak somewhere in April. We got over $31,000. But you're going to see the RSI actually peaked very early on in this bull run. Back in January, we got up over 89 on the daily RSI, which is extremely overbought territory. So from there, the first thing we did was we had to take a journey all the way back down to reset this daily RSI. So you'll see we had a double top here over 70, which is overbought on the daily RSI. So that happened here in March. And then again here in April, and you'll see since then you can see the momentum has been downward. So I just added a yellow arrow. So you can see over the last really 2.5 months, the daily RSI has been drifting downward. Now, at this point, It's well below 50. 50 is absolutely neutral. It rejected 50 here, and it looks to me like this is headed towards a reset, which essentially is somewhere at or below 30. That happened back here, right here on March 10th. March 10th was a local bottom, and from March 10th, we ran from under 20,000 all the way up to 31,000 over the next few weeks. So right now, the daily RSI is at 35. So I'm looking for this to get under 30. So anywhere from 30 to 25, I think would be a full reset. That would take us all the way from overbought when we were at 31,000 to oversold. Now, actually, we are most of the way there, so this may not take as long as it seems. But this is another indicator that seems like we're in a long pattern here, which is going to end up taking us from Bitcoin overbought on the daily RSI to Bitcoin oversold on the daily RSI. So in all likelihood, it's more probable than not that we will finish this journey. We just took a look at the daily RSI. This is the 1 week RSI, and what I want to show you, and I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit here. The beginning of this bull run was when Bitcoin crossed 50 on the weekly RSI. So I always say on this channel, good things happen over 50 on the RSI. So that's where most bull runs occur. So as soon as we crossed this, you can see we ran all the way up. Bitcoin was at around $16,000 or $17,000. So from the time we crossed this, that's when we got our double back up to $31,000. This week, which we're in the middle of, so the first thing I'll say is we need to close out the week to confirm this. But you can see at the moment, the weekly RSI has now gone below this blue line, which is at 50, which is neutral. So this is another indicator that Bitcoin seems to be headed in a downward direction. Now, again, we do need to finish out this week and see where the RSI ends for the week. But if we close under 50 for this week, that would be another strong indication that we are in a downward move in Bitcoin. The next thing right here on the weekly chart, you're going to see we did have a bearish crossover on the MACD last week. That was an indicator that we may be entering a bearish time for Bitcoin. The last several times this has happened, Bitcoin has had a big pullback. I'm going to show you those times, but I will also tell you, although we've had a streak of 3 times in a row where this was very consistently an indicator of a big move down for Bitcoin, I don't like to look at any one thing. If you just take a look at this one thing, it looks like we're really in for a big move to the downside. But I just would caution everybody, don't put too much stock in any one indicator. That's why I'm trying to show you a bunch of indicators. And even all of this put together doesn't guarantee that Bitcoin is going to crash. In fact, I will tell you right now, I don't think Bitcoin is in for a crash, even though a lot of these indicators are setting up for a potential big pullback in Bitcoin. I think we're going to find some support sooner than later. If we take a look at the last 3 times the MACD had a bearish crossover, I've put 3 yellow circles right here, and you're going to see each one of those times caused a massive pullback in Bitcoin. So back in April of 2021, from the top to the bottom, this was about a 54% pullback. Then the next time we had a bearish crossover was in November of 2021. From the top to the bottom here, this was about a 53% pullback. And then the last time we had a bearish crossover was in April of 2022. And this time from the top to the bottom, this was a 62% pullback. So you can see the last 3 times we had a bearish crossover on the 1 week time frame. This was fairly bad news for Bitcoin. All 50+% pullbacks. So does that mean that we're automatically going to have a 50% pullback? No. The last 3 times in a row this has happened, but that has not always been the case on a bearish crossover. We've had varying mixed results over the course of time. So I do think there's other factors at play here on this one. I do think we are not going to have this gigantic pullback that all of this looks like it's setting up to be. Lastly, a quick look at the Fear and Greed Index. On March 10th, the Fear and Greed Index was down around 34. That was the last time Bitcoin bottomed out. Since then, it has been well above that. So it did get all the way up to 68. So today we are at a 41 on the Fear and Greed Index. That is the lowest that we have been since the last time Bitcoin bottomed out back in March of 2023. So this is another indicator. You can see the trend here is not good. It's been moving in the wrong direction. So I've made the bear case here. These are a lot of reasons why it looks like the next move is to the downside. So some possible price targets. The first thing is, I think we still could hold this line at 25,000. So if that happens, then, maybe this was all a bit of a fake out. I do think the Fed spooked the market yesterday, and it did have a bigger impact on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency that it seemed to have on the equity markets. So I would give it a few days to see if maybe we can bounce back above this $25,000 line of support. If that holds, then maybe this is the pullback. If not, then I would look for maybe 24,000. And then I do have what I think is the next strong line of support at just under 23,000, somewhere at this purple line of 22,800. If we do find support at any of those, then this will continue the trend of higher highs and higher lows. In which case, this would just be a pullback inside of what I think is a continued bull market. So if we look at the last pullback that we had back in March of 2023, that was about a 22% pullback. We are currently right now at about a 20% pullback. So anywhere from 20%, even if we were to retest this line, that would only be about a 26% pullback. So I do think all those points are extremely possible, but I'm not seeing a big crash or collapse. I think we are going to hold from here. I think momentum is going to switch. So obviously, that is absolutely my opinion. I just spent all this video showing you reasons why it looks like the next move is to the downside. But I do think it will be limited in my opinion, and I do think we're going to find support sooner than later. Our first chance is to get back above 25,000. If not, maybe we got to visit 24 or 23,000. We'll see what happens. So we'll keep a close eye on this, and the next few days will be a big part of the story. So by the end of the week, I will update this video and see what happened from here. So thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.